I was actually in Disney World, and it was like early January, and I was dressing pretty more masculinely because that's just how I was feeling. And I was in like the security line, and the guy that checked my bag called me young man, and instantly that was the happiest I'd felt in years.
There are still many people who are not well informed on what being transgender is or how and why it exists. This documentary's sole purpose is to educate our audience with stories and information from transgender teens at Saline High School.
My name is Gabe Walkowiak, and I'm a Saline High School student. For me, it's a little bit complicated, but it was mainly middle school because I never really thought about gender as a kid, like as most people do. Like you grow up, you're told that you're this, and then you just kind of go with that. But mainly for me, like most people with like, you know, puberty and like gender roles and stuff like that, when they implement it on you, that's when I realized like this doesn't like fit with me, I guess.
Being trans and defining your sexuality is kind of whack. When I first came out, I was like, well, now I'm trans, what the hell would my sexuality be? If you identified as a girl before you came out as trans and you liked girls, you'd be a lesbian, but now you've come out as trans, you'd be straight.
Everyone figures themselves out in different times in their life, and that applies to transgender people as well. Realizing that you are trans can often be difficult and confusing. Many say that this is the hardest part of coming out to yourself.
For a while I thought I was gender fluid because I didn't really want to like commit to saying that I'm trans, but then eventually in like freshman year, I was finally being open about it. The first like family member or person I came out to was my mom, and then my brother. For my mom, it was completely easy because it was just kind of like, hey, I'm a guy, because she's always been cool with that kind of thing. And my brother was trans and they were accepting him. It was kind of really easy for me. I was super lucky with that because with a lot of people it's really hard. Like they might not have supportive families or not understanding. Like I could tell her and she was like, okay, cool. What do you want to be called?
When I was a kid, I used to do gymnastics, and I must have been like 12. So at the time, if you had hair longer than here, you had to put it in a ponytail, except I hated ponytails. So I was like, Mom, I'm gonna cut all my hair off so I don't have to put my hair in a ponytail for gymnastics. And I was like, I want a pixie cut. And my mom went, no, but then people will call you my son because you look like a boy. And I sort of went, perfect.
Being transgender is more accepted into Western society than in any other time period worldwide. The general population has become more aware of transgenderism and the science behind it, which thankfully has led to more open minds and better lives for trans individuals.
Even kids who I'm not directly friends with, there's definitely a few people out there who, even though they don't have the same interests as me, even though they went to raise the same way as me, they're willing to open their minds and be open to learning about trans people, and they'll always respect my pronouns.
Before I got my name changed, I sent my teachers an email and saying like, hey, I'm transgender, again, you call me these pronouns and this name, it's not legally changed, so it's not gonna like match up with the school system and stuff like that. But they all did well with that, like everybody did perfectly with that. Like a couple of them like changed it in their power school thing.
All of the teachers have been really nice about it. One of my teachers even accidentally said the wrong pronouns, and then later she called me out into the hallway and she was like, I'm so sorry for saying that. She apologized to me, but in private, which was like super nice.
So the teachers, yes, but obviously some of the students, you're always gonna have like transphobic students and homophobic students and all that kind of thing. Like there's no like stopping that. There's what, like 1,500 kids in our school? There's no way to like just squash that out. I feel like it's safe enough that you can be open about it.
In Saline, it's more the parents who have a problem with it, and then their kids are ignorant. The pottery table, it's like a pottery class I have, and the table I sit at, only one of the people there, like one of the other people there respects my pronouns, and he basically has to apologize for his friends who don't, and I feel really bad for him. He's a cool dude, and the rest of the people at my table just like call me she, and I'm like, just shut up.
My name is Jessica Fry, and I'm a student at Saline High School. We've been going out for over a year. I love Gabe for who he is, and we're in a hetero relationship. The fact that he's trans doesn't change how I feel for him at all. I know that it can be hard sometimes because some people, like I've been called a lesbian a few times before, but the thing is I'm not, I'm actually straight, but sometimes other people just can't see that because they're transphobic, and it just breaks my heart. I love him for him, and I just wish that people could just be more accepting and understand. I love him for who he is because he's a guy, like that's my boyfriend, and I love him so much inside and out.